Hi everyone, it's me, Gabrielle here. Why am I making this film today? Well, today I made a mistake. I did a live stream, but then I made a mistake and took the film off the uploads when I thought I was in live stream. So that's why I'm making this film again. But then again, I really didn't like the way that film went. And you're going to have to forgive me for the far ringer or the far speaker going off. I have no run-in lead over it. So anyway, so I was talking about how my scrolls and my books have been skimmed, over the years. And if anyone who's ever watched the show knows that they made all the followings of all the followings in the sagas, and those 6 followings were offshooted from my scrolls, my books. Yeah, in the show, And a lot of XENA followers out there would know about the XENA scrolls. Now, some of you folks out there might wonder, how did my writing truly look like? How did it look like? What was it like? Now, keep in mind that we had a lot of followers. Well, no. We had a lot of friends and a lot of kin. And, well, someone got the scrolls one day. And if we all saw the XENA scrolls, we know how that happened. And someone looked at it and say, hey, tell me more about this XENA. Then they looked and said, oh, geez, XENA's got way too many kin. Way too many friends. Gotta cut that a bit. So everyone who was kin then became friend. Then they started shifting to kinship. And then, well, it took a lot of freedoms with a lot of things. And if you don't believe me, there was a lot of freedoms about all kinds of things. Now, up until A Friend in Need, Slight 1 and Slight 2, everything was taken from my scrolls or my writings or my books in some way. Yeah, right up until then. Then it was some kind of weird thing with things that never happened. My mother said, first off, Gabrielle, I never died in Dawnland. 2, a lot of that things didn't happen. They're like, do you know where the missing slight of your scroll or book is at? I said, no, I do not. Now, a lot of folks always wonder about how did the XENA scrolls get to where they were at. Now, keep in mind, Jack Kaufman, I guess, Karisman, whose son, well, later on his grandson, and his son and his grandson will be later on going into his house and taking out things, and he somehow got the XENA scrolls, which was taken by his grandfather by mistake. And he wanted to go to every film and show business, but no one wanted it. Well, the truth was that Warner Brothers wanted to look at it, and he only gave it out to the folks at Universal Studios or World Craft House out of hopelessness of wondering if they would take it. And his belief was they should make one about his forekind, Joxer Kerfman. And he was thinking, but you see Robert Tappert and Samuel Greene, at least the ones in XENA's world, took one look at the writings and said, tell me more about the XENA. Boom, it was done. Now, some of you folks might wonder, did Heracles play anything into the scrolls being written or stuff? Well, I guess he kind of did. I don't know. So, right after that, you start getting at least 6 followings and sagas in them, and then there were all these missing slights that really, they're like, they started saying, oh, well, XENA's got too many kin. Well, bam! now they're all friends. Well, now since they're friends now and not kin anymore, gotta really start shifting the kinship up between these folks. Well, there's way too many straight folks. Boom! Done! Now they're unstraight. And a whole bunch of other things. And then the show just became whatever it became. And I had no running lead over it. Neither did my mother. Well, there were many times when XENA came into the now world. If you overlooked the XENA scrolls, the next time this would have happened would have been, well, we're just going to go on that little thing, say, you know, thoughts of the past, we'll call it. And that was how to deal with being born again. Only this time and the next time it ever comes up would have been in Send Came Up, You Are There, kinda, more in Send In the Double Daggers look alike are twins. And it comes up a lot, a little, because they go, hey, I was like, they took freedoms with my scrolls. And XENA's like, what are they saying about our kinship? It wasn't until the Soul Passion or Soul Love that they really start playing into, you know, this too again, about the missing slight, which pulled it in, which ended came to what happened after the sagas in the Sin Trade, slight 2, but which led into a kin business. And that's when they started to think, hey, there might be more of these XENA scrolls around. Keep in mind, the one they seeked it had a wedlock deal along with a sheet that told everything that was going on. Only this one was written by Ernest and Joxer, not written by me. So, the truth is, my scrolls, books, writings, whatever you want to call them, had been shifted so many times that there's really no way to know what it was. And the way that I write, if anyone ever seen any of my writings, and I'm going to show it to you before I end this film, because I felt that this was a greater offshoot to make of this and that. Alright, so here's what some of my writing looks like. And I'm going to show it to you. See, this is what it looks like. Oh yeah, when you put it in English, that's how it looks like. Yeah, that's the way my writing looks like. They also didn't just take freedoms of kinship, freedoms with love shoes, freedoms of a whole bunch of things. They took freedoms with, well, she doesn't know how to spell. Well, she doesn't know how to write any work or doings or deeds. Anyway, that's all the time I got, Gabrielle says. Tell me what you think about my scrolls or my books being skimmed, shifted, cleaned, whatever you want to say, whatever word you want to say. If you like this film, then follow us over here at XENA Melinda Pappas. What's the other film that we made over here when me and XENA met up with Calistro again? I, Gabrielle Coveton, and I'll see you later. Bye.